Prenuptial agreement is an agreement that a couple enter into before they marry, which sets out what they would want to happen to their financial affairs in the event that the marriage unfortunately breaks down. The most common reason people come to talk to us to explore having a prenuptial agreement is because they want to protect a particular asset that they have before they marry, for example a home, a business, something that they've inherited, and they want to protect that in the event that the marriage doesn't work out how they hope. Prenuptial agreements are not automatically legally binding in this country if a couple enter into them knowing and fully understanding the implications, if there's no sense of either of them being forced to enter into them, and the terms are fair, they should be upheld. It's not an automatic matter, so they are worth the paper they're written on. A prenuptial agreement is capable of being contested, which means it's particularly important that if you're going to enter into one of these agreements that you take specialist legal advice to give the maximum possibility and opportunity for it to be upheld in the event that a divorce does happen. One of the most common reasons for a prenuptial agreement perhaps not being upheld would be if the terms weren't fair. A prenuptial agreement can't simply say one party gets everything, and that's one of the things that a specialist lawyer would be able to talk to you about. In the event of a divorce, if there was a prenuptial agreement in place, the terms of it, if both parties agreed that they were happy that that was the way that the financial matter should be resolved, lawyers would then take the terms of the prenuptial agreement and put it into something called a consent order, which when approved by the court would then be binding on the couple, and there could be no further claims made by either of them again in the future. I do think there is a connection between the rise in marriage and the acceptance of prenuptial agreements. Historically, one of the reasons why people were hesitant to enter into marriage were because they were aware that in the event of a divorce it could have a considerable effect on their assets, and there were perhaps assets they owned prior to a marriage that they may want to protect. What prenuptial agreements do is offer people the opportunity to protect those assets in the event of divorce, and therefore give people the confidence to marry who otherwise might have been deterred. If you think about entering into a prenuptial agreement and want to find out more information, I'd certainly recommend picking up the phone and talking to a specialist family lawyer. You'll also find lots of information on our website, slatergordon.co.uk.